How to stop giving away variations for free, because this is literally killing your profit margins. I had this question on Instagram last night, so I found this whiteboard in this beautiful boardroom in Romania, and I thought, F it. I'm gonna go through 3 to 4 points on how you can stop giving away variations for free and how to handle those. Let's get into it. Rightio, so here we are on our beautiful whiteboard. So number 1 is obviously keeping clients happy. Now I get it, I had a building company and you fight tooth and nail if you have a cold audience to get a client, get a contract over the line. And what you're wanting to do is obviously from the very get-go, you wanna have a fast inquiry, you wanna get a quote back, you wanna seem professional, you wanna be nice, you wanna get the job done, you wanna get out, you wanna get a referral, and you wanna get that 5-star Google review. So, I totally get it. And if this is a project worth $150,000, $250,000, when you're in the job, you want to do whatever you can do to keep the project mint. You don't want to piss the clients off. You want to keep them happy because you're gunning for that 5-star review. And the process to get a construction project is expensive, it's time consuming, and it's stressful. To get a $250K project could take up to 3 to 5 months. So when one of these little variations pop along, I totally get it as why you would think, oh, we'll just kind of like give that one to them, or we won't worry about charging that, we'll make money down the track, etc., etc. No, you've got to stop doing that because you're not running a charity. We have the same thing in our business, the QS business, where we're constantly thinking, okay, if there's a small variation or if a client comes back and says, oh, hey, we just need to tweak this or this or that. Now, don't get me wrong, we can make a couple of free little variations, I get it. But when it comes down to like actually allocating resources, it's got to go through a project manager, then it's got to go to a QS, then it's got to get signed off, then it's got to get emailed back with a phone call. It's not just the one quick small change. There's so much stuff that goes into that. It's you, same as a builder. If you're ripping up a laundry floor and you're just replacing all of the flooring and then you get under and you've got to replace all these joists, it's not just, oh, we'll just whip these old joists out and whip these new ones in. Is there propping to go in? Do you have to redo the piles as well? Who's going to shoot off down to the trade merchant to go and get all the materials and then bring them back? Then you've got to get it all signed off, then you've got to complete the work. It could be an additional day's work, and if you're charging 1 or 2 guys out, plus materials, plus vehicle charges, it's not actually the cost of that small variation, it's everything else that goes around it. I personally know me, when I'm pricing, I have to shut everything else off. WhatsApp off, any other tabs off, phone is down in another room, and if I break my distraction with something else, my time goes out the window. So keeping clients happy, I totally get it. You've got to do whatever you can do to keep them happy, but variations are not free. And that leads me to my second point here, upfront contracts. You need to be very clear, stipulated wording in a contract, what's included and what's not included, but more importantly, what happens if we see a variation or if something changes without the scope, okay? So upfront contracts, you got to let them know. The scope's got to be clear, and that's why it's awesome to get a detailed QS report, because the QS reports literally build the scope of the project. You literally have square meterage for these areas of, say, plaster and paint. Now, this is a prime example when you're doing internal renovations. Say, for example, you're extending a house out 35 squares out the back, and there's obviously a hallway connecting. From the very moment that the extension is obviously existing to new, cool, there's going to be new decorating, new plaster and paint, and old plaster and paint. Now, most clients will try it on very, very cheekily and say, oh, hey, we just want to do the rest of the hallway to match it all up and make it look good. No, that's going outside your scope. There's more labor, there's more materials, and ultimately that's going to cost you money. So it's just being very clear in your contract. For example, decorating, hey, it's only the new area or the affected walls inclusive in this contract. Anything outside that, we will obviously make a variation and we can do an ongoing charge on that, okay? So upfront contracts has been super, super clear, and just having it all written down on paper, that's why it's so good to attach 150 250 line item spreadsheet to very clearly show what it includes and what it doesn't include. So tag outs and exclusions is absolutely critical. Now, it is tough, I get it. You want to keep all these clients happy, but at the end of the day, it's your bank account that's going to get absolutely smoked. Number 3, no sign off, no hammer. So what do I mean by this? If you spot a variation, something happens during the day and you message the client and you're like, hey, listen, we found this problem. Now, problems occur, building company, every single job, there's problems. It's a problem solving game. And that's why I think builders are like one of the smartest people on the planet. You have to deal with so much stuff. You're taking all the financial risk, you're dealing with all the bullshit, you got to manage all the subbies, you got to manage the client's expectations, manage your boys, manage materials, the list goes fucking on, and have all the insurance. But You spot a variation, it's like tools down straight away. And it's literally like, call the client, hey, listen, we found this, X, Y, and Z. Let me know how you want to go about it. The best thing is to get something back in writing. Even if he says on the phone, yeah, mate, cool, all good, go ahead. Hang up the phone straight away, send a text. Hey, Mark, nice to chat to you on the phone about that. Please confirming we're going to go ahead with the extra variation as per our contract. We'll just do a charge up cost plus basis, 75 bucks an hour plus the margin, whatever it is. Or you're gonna walk away, go to another area of the job and say, hey, we'll get this priced up. Give me 4 to 5 hours, we'll price it up. I'll send it through on an email, confirm it, please, and then we'll go ahead. The last thing you wanna do is take obviously a handshake or a gentleman's word. Now, case by case scenario. I've obviously had clients where you know who you're gonna get along with fantastically and you can trust their word. But if it's a new client, you've never done work with them before, they've never verbally approved a variation, and you'll get your gut feeling from the very moment you deal with these clients, you know where you sit. But make sure that you get a sign off. You get something written, writing, text message, whatever it is, that you're good to go ahead on these variations, because the last thing you want, go ahead and do these variations, and he says, oh no, I didn't say that on the phone, or can you prove that in writing? Because people can turn south really, really quickly when you get to the end of a big job and then you're trying to smack them with 10K worth of variations. People are very, very hesitant to pay. That's from my own learning curve. I got stung before by a certain type of person in New Zealand. It was a roofing project and I was down about 6.5K on a $50,000 contract, 6.5K worth of variations on a roof repair project. And it was absolutely painful, but learned my lesson. Everything is fucking in writing from then. So those are the 3 key things. Do not give away variations for free. That's where you can make a lot of cash up as well. And on the initial upfront contracts, when you get screwed down a little bit, I'm gonna do a separate video on how you can make up a little bit of extra cash on variations. Stay tuned for that. Comment below what you wanna see and if you found this insightful. Thank you.